Hey everyone, welcome to another Eye for Makeup video. Today I'll be doing a foundation routine video, and I'll also be showing you my foundation collection and doing kind of a quick review on each of the foundations I have. I will have sort of an equal amount of high-end and drugstore foundation, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm going to start out with my foundation routine. First I use a Biotherm Biopur Moisturizer, and this is a pore reducer. It keeps my face nice and matte throughout the day, and it also minimizes the pores, so it prepares it for the foundation. And then I use the Rimmel Fix and Perfect primer. This is fairly cheap, you can get it at any drugstore, and it does a fairly good job at smoothing out the skin and filling in the pores. So I like that. I've also tried the Smashbox Photo Finish primer, and I like it too. However, it does get a little greasy, so I wouldn't recommend it for oily skin. So my most current foundation is the Revlon PhotoReady makeup. It's got an SPF of 20, and I use it in shade Natural Beige. This is a very good foundation, I'd say. It's got a nice pump, so it's easy to dispense, and it gives you a luminous, glowy finish, which I love, especially for spring or summer, so this is really nice. I'd say the coverage is around medium coverage, but it's very buildable and you never look cakey. So after I apply the foundation, I use a concealer, and I've been using two different concealers. One for to cover up any blemishes or dark spots, and another one to highlight underneath my eye and to give it a little more light. So the one I've been using underneath the eye is this one, the Maybelline Age Rewind Concealer. It's got the concealer on one side, and then it's got a lighter highlighting shade on the other, and I've been using that. It gives you a really believable glow underneath the eyes. And I've been using the Revlon PhotoReady concealer. It's the anti-circle concealer. It's also got the SPF of 20, but I've been using it mostly to cover up some blemishes. This glides on super smoothly. It's got full coverage, and it doesn't really accentuate the lines, so I love that. Really, really smooth application. Okay, so after the foundation and the concealer, I have to set my foundation in. So I use the powder, and lately I've been using the High Definition powder by e.l.f. The Makeup Forever High Definition powder, I've tried it before and I like it, but this powder is a lot cheaper than the Makeup Forever, and I think it does its job. Only bad thing I have to say about this is that a lot of the product actually comes out whenever I use it, so I have to be really careful with the sifter. But other than that, it's great. Translucent powder, and I've been just applying it with the e.l.f. Kabuki face brush. It's nice and big, so you can apply it fairly quickly. For days when I need a little more coverage, I use a colored powder, and I've been using the Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. I usually use the shade 2.5 medium. This is a different shade, however, so I'm planning to use this as my contouring powder or during the summer when I get a tan. I also use the Rimmel Stay Matte Press Powder. I just keep this in my purse. It does a really good job at blotting the oil from my skin, and it never looks powdery, so that's a good thing. I forgot to mention that the brush I use to apply all of my liquid foundation is this e.l.f. powder brush, and I also want to talk about another foundation that I was using for the past 6 months that I absolutely love. It's one of my favorite foundations. I don't have it here because I just finished using it. It is the Maybelline Dream Smooth Mousse foundation. I love it, and it works magically with this e.l.f. brush. Okay, so that was my foundation routine. Now I'm gonna go on to some of my other foundations that I also like, sometimes dislike, but they all have their pros and cons, so I'm gonna go over them too. I'm gonna start off with the high-end foundation. This high-end foundation is the infamous NARS foundation, Sheer Glow, and I love this foundation. If you shake it well and you use it properly with the right brush, this foundation can give you flawless coverage, and it gives you a really nice airbrush finish. So this is definitely my favorite high-end foundation. And my color is in Punjab. medium 1. The reason why I like this color is because it's got a really good yellow base, which I find is really hard to have in a lot of foundations. Most of the foundations do oxidize on my skin. Another high-end foundation that I've been using is the Mineralize Satin Finish SPF 15 foundation from MAC. And I think the color is an NW35, which is a little too dark for me, but I have a hunch that it's going to work for me during the summer. I do like the finish on this foundation. However, it does turn a little darker on me after several hours of wear. The coverage is around medium coverage, and I'd say the lasting power is fairly good if you have a translucent powder over top or a matte powder. Not sure if you've heard of this next foundation, but this is the Vichy Dermablend foundation. It's a corrective foundation, so it's for individuals who have severe acne scars and a lot of blemishes and a lot of imperfections on their skin that they want to cover. It's a derm line, so it is good for your skin. It doesn't cause any breakouts, and it's got heavy coverage. I mean, this foundation, you're pretty much putting a mask on your face, but after a while it does sink into your skin and it looks a lot more natural after a while. But I wouldn't recommend this on a daily basis. I've been using it more as a concealer for some spots here and there, and the color I've been using is 35 Sand. The next two foundations I want to talk about are my favorite two mineral foundations. I was in this whole mineral foundation hype around a year ago because my skin was going through a lot of changes. I was getting a lot of acne, so I figured mineral foundation would be helpful. So I was using the two most popular foundations at that time, which were the Pur Minerals, and this is in the sheer, I think it's the Sheer Glow one. It's in golden medium. And the other one is the Pure Mineral one. It's a 4-in-1 pressed mineral makeup, and the shade is in tan. So how could I compare the two? Well, the Pure Mineral one it does give me a glowy finish, although they do have it in the matte formula now. And the Pure Mineral one has a lot more coverage, and it's 4-in-1 because it is a powder, foundation, concealer, and SPF in one. So I do like that about this foundation. I have been using it when I feel lazy and I just want to use one product for the whole day, and the staying power is great. The Pure Mineral one does give you a more natural finish, and it gives you that glowy skin. However, if you do have oily skin, I don't recommend using this foundation, unless if you plan to use the matte formula of the Pure Minerals. Alright, we're almost done here, just 3 more foundations, and these 3 foundations are drugstore foundations. The first one is a lot of people's favorite foundation. It's the Revlon Colostay foundation, and I've been using it in the normal to dry skin formula just because I like it a lot better than the oily formula for some reason, and the color is in 240 medium beige. Great coverage, very excellent lasting power, and I would say I do like the finish on this one because it's not too matte and it's not too glowy, so it's somewhere in between. So this is, if I had the choice, I would say this is the best drugstore foundation you can get. The next foundation, I only got this because I heard that it promises 24-hour wear. And I was skeptical at first because no foundation has ever stayed on me for more than 8 hours. So the next foundation is the Maybelline New York, the Superstay, and I have it in the color Classic Beige. Do I like this? I do like this. It is a little thick, but it does have pretty good coverage, and the lasting power is awesome. However, I don't really like the finish on this foundation. It just looks, it makes my skin look a little dull. I have to kind of finish it up with a little bit of MAC Mineralized Skin Finish or a translucent powder. So I wouldn't wear this alone. However, the staying power is great. So for the price, I would purchase this again. And the last foundation that I want to share with you is the Rimmel Match Perfection. I think this is the newest Rimmel foundation. It's got the Smart Tone technology, which is supposed to blend in with a lot of skin tones. I have this in the color Nude, and the texture is a little runny, but the coverage is buildable, so that's what I like about this foundation. And it feels really light on the skin. I feel like my skin is breathing when I wear this, as opposed to if I were to wear a MAC foundation. I feel like my pores are clogged. So yes, I do like this foundation. It is fairly cheap. It does have a distinct smell to it, which I don't mind, but some of you might. Just a heads up on that. Wow, that was a lot of foundations and a lot of mini reviews, but we're done. I hope you enjoy that. If you want any extensive or in-depth review on any of those foundations, please let me know or ask me a question in the comments below. Otherwise, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I hope this video really helped you in your quest to find your perfect foundation. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye!